Okay, let's go through the problems for this video in case you want to try these. This one states find x and y, find x, y, and z in problem 1 and 2. And there's your diagram. That's one problem. Then number 2, again, we have variables x, y, and z defined. And then we have some word problems. So you can try those if you want. I want to go through some explanation just in case this is new to you. So let's just look at these statements. Two angles whose measures total 90 degrees. So if you add the two measures of the angles, you get 90 degrees are complementary. We say the angles are complementary. 60 degrees and 30 degrees would be complementary angles. Two angles whose measures total 180 are called supplementary angles. So say an angle that measures 100 degrees and 80 degrees, that totals 180. Those are said to be supplementary. And then the other one I want to talk about briefly again is whenever two lines cross, two pairs of equal opposite angles are formed. These are called vertical angles. So we have some diagrams here. So here we have a 90-degree angle. So if I do this here, divide this into two angles, then obviously this angle, let's call this angle 1. Okay, this angle here, let's call it angle 2. Angle 1 and angle 2 would be complementary because this whole angle here is 90 degrees. So anyway, break this up. These are going to be complementary angles. Now if you got a situation like this, we'll have a straight angle here. And then I got a ray coming out like this, so I form this angle here. Let's call that angle 1. And then this angle over here, let's call that angle 2. This is called a linear pair. So this angle right here is a straight angle, that's 180 degrees. And because these two angles make up this entire angle, angle 2 and angle 1, or angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary. They're called a linear pair. They add up to 180. Now if you got two lines crossing this way, and this angle here, so let's call that angle 1, this angle 2, those are called vertical angles. And they are congruent. They have the same measure. I call this angle over here 3, and this one 4. Those angles are vertical angles. They have the same measure, so they're congruent. So anytime two lines cross this way, they form two pairs of vertical angles, and those are congruent. 1 and 2 have the same measure. 3 and 4 have the same measure. So let's go back to this one here. Find the value of y and z. So we're going to use those ideas here. So on this one here, I look at this pair right there, that 3x and 105, that's the linear pair. Go this way, that's 180. So 3x plus 105 should equal to 180. In other words, they're supplementary angles because of the way they were given. So let's subtract 105 from both sides. We'll subtract 105 here. We're isolating the x. We're supposed to solve for the variables x, y, and z. So 180 and minus 105 gives me 75. And of course the 105 and the minus 105 canceled over here, so then I just divide through by 3. And 3 here. We just divide out. 75 divided by 3 is 25. So the value of x is 25. Just plain old 25. That's the value we put. Now you put it in here. 3 times 25. That's 75. So this angle here actually is 75. But they're not asking for this angle here. They just want the value of x. So we got that. So again, this one, see, I could say this 3y plus 6 and 2z minus 5. That's another linear pair. So I could add those up and say they have to add up to 180. But that causes problems because I got two variables. So it's easier to look at this perspective here and look at these as vertical angles. Two lines cross, so 3y plus 6 and 105 are vertical angles, so they have the same measure. So in that case, I would just say 3y plus 6 and 105 are vertical angles, so they're congruent, have the same measure. I add negative 6 to both sides, now it becomes a linear equation. So you see that in your geometry class, they're going to introduce some concepts that you need to learn, but at the same time, you have to know your algebra. A lot of students will have trouble with trigonometry, not so much because of the trig concepts that they're introduced to, but because of the algebra. They're weak in algebra skills. So here I get 3y is equal to 105 minus 6 is 99. Divide through by 3. This cancels out. 99 divided by 3 is 33. That's your solution. Now on this one here, I got 2z minus 5. 2z minus 5. I could use the 105 and say 2z minus 5 plus 105. Say that's 180, and I could work it the same way I did this one up here. Or since I already know the value of x, I could do it this way also. I know that 2z minus 5 and 3x are vertical angles, so they're equal. So I could just say 2z, and I'm leaving the degree out because we're just finding the value of x here. So here I can say 2z minus 5 is equal to 3x. I want a number though. I know that x is 25, so I could just say instead of 3x, I can say that's 75. And then I add 5 to both sides here. That would just give me 2z, and then 75 and 5 give me 80. Of course, 5 added to minus 5 cancel, so this will be 80. Divide both sides by 2. This cancels out. So we have z is equal to 40. We got x equal to 25, y equal to 33, and z equals to 40. And that completes the solution to this one. And let's look at the next one. Again, similar problem. We can look at some of the angles are linear pairs. We have some that are complementary. Not complementary, but vertical angles. So in this one here, I could just say this. 75 and 2z plus 20, you can see that those are vertical angles. So I can set those equal. 2z plus 20 should be equal to 75. So I want to solve for z, so I add negative 20 to both sides. This cancels out. I get 2z is equal to 55. 75 minus 20. And then I divide both sides by 2. So z is equal to 27.5. And then on this one, on the 4y plus 4 and the 75, again, that's a linear pair. They're supplementary. So I could just say 4y plus 4, add 75. That sum is equal to 180. So 4 and 75 is 79, subtracted from both sides, and we get 4y is equal to 101. Okay. 4 and 75 is 79, subtracted from both sides. It's 180 minus 75. I just say 180 minus 79 is 101. And here we divide both sides by 4. These would cancel out. Divide by 4. And then y would equal to 25.5. So I get the value of y to be 25.5. The value of z to be 27.5. Now we need the x. So again, you can see 5x. Again, there's more than one way to do this. Now that I got the values for most of the variables, but here I'm just going to say 5x and 75 are again a linear pair, or they're supplementary because they form a straight angle. So I could say 5x plus 75 should equal to 180. So subtract 75 from both sides here to solve for x. This would cancel. 5x would equal to 105. Divide both sides by 5. Just divide out. 105 divided by 5 is 21. And like I said, you could have done different methods. It might have been a little bit more involved, but still got the answer as long as you've done the, as long as you do the algebra correct. So y 25.5, z 27.5. Now let's go look at the word problems. There's an angle. An angle's complement is 5 times the measure of the angle. Find the angle. Find the angle's measure. So let me just, let's let x equal the angle. And we're talking about a complement here, so the 90 minus x will equal the complement of the angle. Okay, so we got the angle, and then we have the complement. So now let's put this together, get an equation for this. An angle's complement. Okay, so let's say an angle's complement, so that would be 90 minus x is, that's equals, the is means equals 5 times, so let's multiply, so 5 times the measure of the angle, so this would be the angle's x. So now we just gotta have to solve this equation for x. Let's add x to both sides here, x here, so 90 is equal to 6x. So solve for x, so this is 6 divided by 6. This divides out. So x is equal to 90 divided by 6, which is 15. And of course, this one's an angle, so I'm going to put the degrees in this one. And you can check to make sure that it satisfies the conditions. 90 minus x is the complement, or 90 minus 15, which is 75. And the complement is 5 times the measure of the angle. 5 times 15 would be 75, so it works. So let's do this. The other one's pretty much the same. If the supplement of an angle, okay, so here we're dealing with find the angle. So we're looking for the angle. So let's just say x equals the angle. And we're talking about a supplement, so to get the supplement, we simply subtract from 180. 180 minus x. That's equal to the supplement of the angle in question. And now we just take the statement to write an equation. So it says if the supplement of an angle, so what we do is we write down the supplement. Supplement of an angle is 20 more, so is, as your equal, 20 more means you're adding 20, then 3 times, you're multiplying by 3, and then we're also talking about a complement here. So 90 minus x is the complement. So the supplement of the angle is 20 more than 3 times its complement. So here I put 90 minus x. And then you basically solve that equation. This would be 20 here. And then let's distribute through the parentheses here, multiplied by 3. So 3 times 90 is 270. And then 3 times the minus x, so minus 3x. This is 180 minus x is equal to, add the 20 and the 270. This is 180 here. Okay, so then we're trying to get the x's on one side, so let's just add 3x to this side. 3x to this side. I add negative 180 to this side. And I'm going to do it to the other side also, negative 180. So minus 3x and 3x cancel. 180 and minus 180 cancel. Here we have minus x and 3x. That's a 2x. Put it over here. And then 290 minus 180. That's 110. And divide both sides by 2. X is equal to, divide 2, 55. And this is degrees. So this is the angle. And that's going to wrap this video up. And let me tell you, if you have any suggestions on other content that you want to see on this channel, please leave me a message on the description of this video. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.